All right, so a bit of breaking news here. A 54-hole golf tour just got official world golf rankings. It's not who you think, though.
It's not LIV.
It is not LIV. All right, this is the Gira de Golf Profesional Mexicana.
Oh, you said that nicely.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not
right?
bad.
For a guy who doesn't speak Spanish.
Not bad at all.
Anyway, this is a league. Think of it like a kind of more of an entry-level league. It feeds into the Corn Ferry from the PGA Tour Latin America. Now, the cynics might be immediately thinking that this is something that just happened, whatever. The reality is it's been a 16-month-long application process. So you could, reading between those lines, you could say that even kind of predates LIV a little bit. Yep. That's right around the timeline of when LIV was launched. But there are some key differences, which we're going to go over really quickly here, between the way that this particular tour is structured and LIV is structured. Okay. But regardless, you read the headlines, you got to think a guy like Greg Norman picks up the headlines and sees this.
Hope, he thinks.
54 holes, how'd they get it? We didn't. No matter what, the LIV is going to continue to make the case that they should be getting rankings as well, because here comes another tour that now has official world golf ranking status.
Right.
But there are a few key differences. The first one is, on this particular tour, events do have a 36-hole cut.
Okay.
So although there are 3 rounds, after the first 2 rounds, there's a cut line, which LIV, as we all know, does not have a cut line for their tournaments.
But that's an easy change they could make.
They could make it, but again, there's certain things that you've heard, and we talked about it here on the podcast. Guys like Greg Norman said, at first it seemed like they were going to do something, said then we're not changing, we're staying the same. What we talked about was LIV has to do some soul searching at a certain point and say, are they going to change their own structure to be where they need to be to line up with these official world golf rankings, or are they going to say, this is the structure that we've designed and we're sticking with it?
Right.
Because it dramatically changes their original whole strategy and their whole marketing, where they said, we are a no-cut event, and they said it was because fans wanted to see all of their favorite players play, even if you showed up on the weekend. So we're going to be a no-cut. Now, do they walk that back and say, we're going to introduce a cut? I don't know. Here's the other differences. In this particular tour, the regional players can gain entry into events through a qualifying school process. So there is a Q school process. You can qualify your way into that lower tour. There's obviously nothing like that in LIV.
I feel like
LIV is invite
could
only.
Expand if you needed to. I'm just trying to think of, can Norman just copy this?
Again,
recipe?
I mean, you're starting to see, like, if these are the steps to get it, he could deploy those things. But imagine now, it changes the entire soul and structure of LIV. If now they've got to have a Q school and anybody can qualify their way in.
Well, I think right now it's okay. I think he knows, like, his back's against the wall, and he's got to do this for his players. I don't know if he promised them, hey guys, come join, we'll get those rankings at some point. Who knows what was said behind closed doors? But I'm sure he wants to get this for his players.
Well, no doubt. I mean, the biggest thing that they've wanted is the official world golf rankings. Look at a guy like Dustin Johnson, right? He's dropped from 13th in the official world golf rankings after the PGA Championships to 41st now. And that's despite all of his wins on LIV, because they don't count towards the first world golf ranking. So let me hit you with the last thing. The last difference is this Gira Tour's got the season ends in a no-cut championship. So very similar to like the PGA Tour when you get down to East Lake and you've got that final championship.
Got it.
So that's the big differences. Events have a 36-hole cut. Local regional players can gain access through qualifying school, and there's a season-ending no-cut championship. So, again, what does this boil down to? It's a kind of a roadmap for LIV, but the question that is going to be driven here is, does LIV want to follow that roadmap? Because Greg Norman, they could come out tomorrow and be like, here, guys, I made all those changes. We're exactly the same. Here's my official World Golf application, rankings application. Now what? It's in your lap, right? But the question is, that would change fundamentally the structure of LIV, the golf but louder, in the way that they wanted to create their own version of the game.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I get what you're saying about Norman sticking to his guns, not wanting to change anything. But again, there might be a point where his back's against the wall and he's got to deliver on something before this thing just goes away or fails, or guys are just so angry that, they're not coming back to the Masters anymore, whatever. But I think he has time, because they're going to be able to probably play in all majors this year, I would think. So
Well, we already know, we've heard about that. The majors, as long as they've pre-qualified, met the qualifications, LIV players will be there for at least for Augusta. That was the big announcement last week. But one thing I'm going to say, and we'll end it kind of there, is this is still wasn't an overnight thing. So no matter what, like LIV just really launched last year, and they want these rankings very quickly. Keep in mind, even this tour was started in 2017 and worked hard with the Mexican Golf Federation for this long 16-month drawn-out process of applying for official World Golf Rankings. So it's not as simple as just flipping a switch. Even this tour did have to wait many years before they were able to get it. So it's something, too, to keep in mind for LIV, where a lot of us are thinking, well, why not just give them points? No matter who you are, it seems like the application process is a long, drawn-out process, so it's something to keep in mind. However, there now is a 54-hole tour out there with official World Golf Ranking points. So what this means for LIV, we'll have to wait and see. Let us know what you guys think in the comments.